Ever wondered how some individuals can manipulate others with such ease? Welcome to the intriguing, yet somewhat unnerving realm of dark psychology. This branch of psychology isn't about diagnosing mental health disorders or improving well-being. Instead, it delves into the darker side of human behavior, exploring how manipulation, deception, and control can be wielded to influence others. Dark psychology is a fascinating, if somewhat chilling, field of study. It's the art and science of understanding and often exploiting the vulnerabilities in human nature. Some use it to control others' actions and decisions, bending their will to serve their own purposes. It's the puppet master pulling the strings, the chess player moving the pieces. As we journey into this shadowy domain, we'll confront uncomfortable truths about manipulation, power, and control. But with understanding comes the ability to protect ourselves and others from such influences. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the world of manipulation and dark psychology. Now let's examine a real-life example of dark psychology at work, the Stockholm Syndrome. This intriguing psychological phenomenon occurs when hostages or abuse victims develop a bond with their captors or abusers. Sounds strange, doesn't it? But it's a fascinating example of how the human mind can react to extreme stress and manipulation. Let's delve into the famous case of Patty Hearst, an American heiress who was kidnapped by a terrorist group in the 70s. Hearst was held captive for over a year. During this time, she was subjected to intense manipulation, coercion, and threats. Instead of resisting, Hearst began to sympathize with her captors. She even joined them in their criminal activities, going so far as to participate in a bank robbery. Why did this happen? Hearst's behavior is a classic example of Stockholm Syndrome. The constant threat of violence and the isolation from the outside world can lead victims to form a twisted bond with their captors. They may start to view the captor as a protector rather than a threat. This bond is not a sign of the victim's weakness, but rather a survival strategy, a complex psychological response to prolonged trauma and manipulation. As you can see, manipulation can lead to unexpected outcomes, even in the most dire circumstances. So, remember, the human mind is a fascinating and complex entity, capable of adapting in ways we could never imagine. Another striking example of manipulation and dark psychology is the Milgram experiment. This experiment, conceived by psychologist Stanley Milgram in the early 1960s, aimed to explore the depths of obedience and authority in human nature. Participants were instructed by an authority figure to administer what they believed to be life-threatening electric shocks to an unseen individual, referred to as the learner. The shocks increased in severity with each incorrect answer the learner gave. Unbeknownst to the participants, the learner was an actor, and no real shocks were given. Despite hearing the agonized screams of the learner, a significant number of participants continued to administer shocks, simply because they were told to do so. This unsettling conclusion laid bare the power of authority and the lengths to which individuals would go in obeying orders, even when it meant causing harm to another human being. Milgram's experiment is a chilling testament to the dark side of human psychology. It reveals how easily we can be manipulated into committing acts that go against our personal and moral beliefs, especially when under the influence of an authoritative figure. It is important to understand and recognize this potent form of manipulation, not just in the realm of dark psychology, but in our everyday lives as well. This experiment underscores how easily people can be manipulated when they believe they're following orders from an authority figure. So, what have we learned about the power of manipulation and dark psychology? We've delved into the vast and murky world of dark psychology, examining its far-reaching influence and the profound impact it can have on our lives. We dove into the Stockholm Syndrome, a chilling illustration of how manipulation can cause victims to develop an emotional bond with their captors. We also explored the Milgram experiment, a stark reminder of the extent to which authority can compel us to act against our own moral compass. These real-life examples underscore the immense power manipulation wields and the potential dangers it poses. Yet, it's crucial to remember that understanding is the key to protection. By grasping the mechanics of dark psychology, we can safeguard ourselves from manipulation, ensuring that we maintain control over our actions and decisions. Remember, knowledge is power. By understanding dark psychology, we can better protect ourselves and others from manipulation.